Hey, welcome to the Explainer. So you're a Ford owner, and that dreaded code P06B6 has just popped up on your dashboard. Yeah, it can be a real head-scratcher. Today, we're going to decode exactly what that check engine light is trying to tell you, and more importantly, what you can do about it. All right, let's just dive right in. You know that feeling, right? You're just driving along, minding your own business, and then bam, that little check engine light flicks on. Your car is trying to tell you something, and it's pretty important. So, let's get to the bottom of what it's saying.
Okay, first things first. Before we even start talking about solutions, we've got to decode what P06B6 actually means. What is your Ford trying to communicate here?
Wow, okay, that is a mouthful, isn't it? Internal Control Module Knock Sensor Processor 1 Performance. Yikes. Let's break that down into plain English. Basically, your car's main computer, its brain, has flagged a problem with one of its own circuits. Specifically the part that listens for something called engine knock. That awful, damaging, rattling or pinging sound that can happen when fuel doesn't ignite quite right. Well, the system that's supposed to detect and prevent that knock, it's not performing the way it should be. So, to really get a handle on this error, we need to talk about the component that's right at the heart of it all. We're talking about your car's brain. Right, so this is the Powertrain Control Module, or PCM for short. And you can seriously think of it as mission control for your engine. It is constantly crunching data from dozens and dozens of sensors to manage everything. We're talking fuel injection, ignition timing, you name it. So a fault here? This isn't just some minor little hiccup. This is a glitch in the central command center.
Okay, so if the PCM is the brain, what could possibly be causing it to send out this kind of distress signal? Well, it usually boils down to one of two main suspects.
So when a mechanic looks at this, they're really going down two main paths. The first possibility is that the PCM itself is actually damaged. The other possibility? Maybe some aftermarket performance parts you've put in are sending it signals that it just doesn't understand. And as you can see, the solutions for these two things are pretty different. They can range from a simple software update all the way to a full-blown hardware replacement.
The absolute crucial thing here is figuring out if the problem is internal or external. Is the brain itself on the fritz, or is it just getting bad information from, say, a new performance part that isn't standard? A damaged PCM means the computer itself is physically failing, but an issue with an aftermarket part just means the computer is getting confused by signals it was never programmed to do with.
So how does a pro actually tackle this thing? Well, I'll tell you what they don't do. They don't just start guessing. There's a very logical, step-by-step process they follow to diagnose it properly.
All right, here's the game plan. First up, they're going to check for any other diagnostic trouble codes, or DTCs. Why? Because sometimes this P06B6 code is actually just a symptom of a totally different problem. Now, if the coast is clear and there are no other codes, the next step is to check the software. Maybe the PCM just needs a calibration update. And only after all that, as a last resort, will they even start to consider replacing the entire module.
And this methodical approach is absolutely key. You've got to fix any other problems first, because one of them could be the real root cause. Now, if it turns out those aftermarket parts are the culprit, a simple software update can often teach the PCM how to play nice with them. But if the module itself has failed, well, there's no software fix in the world for damaged hardware. It just has to be replaced.
Yeah, and let's just be real about that last step for a second. Replacing the PCM, it's not a small job, and it can definitely be expensive. But look, when the computer itself is the source of the problem, it is often the only way to get your engine running properly and, more importantly, safely again. It's really a necessary investment in the health of your car.
So, after going through all of this, what's the one big takeaway? What's the single most important thing you need to remember about this particular code?
Well, the professional verdict on this is crystal clear. Because this code points directly to the brain of your engine, this is not a wait-and-see kind of problem, and it's definitely not a simple DIY project for the weekend. This thing requires professional tools and real expertise to track down the root cause and get it fixed right.
And you know what? That's really the whole goal here. Understanding what code P06B6 means doesn't mean you have to grab a wrench and fix it yourself. Not at all. It means you can walk into that repair shop, have a real conversation, understand what they're doing, and ask the right questions. It means you can make a confident, informed decision about your car's repair. And believe me, that is a really powerful position to be in.